Malky, thank you for joining us. How do you assess where you and the squad are at after the 12 games that you've had in the league so far?
Yeah, I mean, fit for a start. The fully fit squad, which always makes a difference, and for that I've got real thanks to give to my coaching staff and my medical team. Don, Scott Thompson and Willie Nolan and Liam Dukes, our medical team, to have the boys with a fully fit group. And I know luck comes into this, but at the same time so does good practices. And I think that the fact that between day one of pre-season and maybe 80 training sessions later, we've managed to get the group in a situation where they're fully fit right now, and looking full of energy is great credit and testament to the staff of the football club. So I'm delighted about that. As far as the actual the campaign has gone, we're obviously wishing we had some more points on the board. When I look overall at the games, I see that we've tested every opposition we've had. I think we're fourth in the chart in terms of goals scored, so what we've got to do is make sure that we concede less, but we're working on that. In terms of the overall, looking at the games we've played against and the teams we've played against, I think that we've certainly been in every game that we've played. I don't think anyone has really run away from us on any given day. Even bring Rangers into that at the weekend. So I think for the second part of going into the second phase, I think we've got to look at that and really take heart from that. There's a lot of points to pick up, and we've been very close in the games we've been in. We're now getting the group to a stage where they know each other reasonably well. They're working really hard every day, and we've got to make sure that we go out now in the next period and in a period coming up that has certainly got a lot of games in it, that we've got plenty of points to play for.
You've stolen one of my points there. Obviously the team are fourth in the goals scored chart in the league. However, there are only the 2 clean sheets, but it probably shows within those figures that you're not far away from where you want to be. Very much so, and I take that not on me saying it, but on the evidence that I'm showing the players in terms of after games when we do our debrief, and we actually show them the game back. And I think when you highlight, for example, a little 4-game run that we had with Motherwell, Dundee United, St Mirren and Livingston, games that were very, very close. And we had numerous chances on all 4 occasions. So I think that should give us great heart going into this next little part of the league, that we can claw our way back into the pack and then kick on from there. You've talked quite extensively throughout the season about your team meetings and your debrief process. How big a part do you feel, and your coaching staff feel, that's played in bringing the team closer together, giving everyone a voice and everyone understanding where each other is coming from? I think it's important for football clubs to have that. I think it's something that it's just one other part of a process that you put together, how to run a football team. And I think you can learn all the way through to your 35, 36 as a footballer, and you never stop learning as a coach. So I think that looking back on what you did, that what went well, what didn't quite go so well, where you can fix that and how you can improve on it next game you go out, should always be something that we should look at. I think what it does then eventually, if you've got the correct environment, what it's like, I'd like to think we have in terms of these meetings, that players are given the chance to actually give their views. It's very open. It's a very safe environment. There's no an inquest goes on. It's about learning, and it's about teaching, and it's about looking at the videos and seeing where they could have been in that situation, what you'd have done differently. So I think if you do that often enough, which we have now over a period, they become confident enough to be able to talk to each other in the meeting and tell each other where they think they should have gone right or wrong in a certain situation. So again, I think it's an important step in terms of people learning. I think it brings confidence. And I think it also breeds leadership, and I think what you get people is taking ownership of their own area and helping each other, and that's probably the biggest takeaway from it. Look, I want to take you back to Dens Park, which has ultimately been the highest point of the season so far. Probably takes a couple of days for it to sink in. How did it feel realising that you'd made history for the club in the biggest ever win in the Premiership for Ross County?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think someone spoke to me about it, just on the way to talk to the press near the end of the game. After the game, and it was one of those ones where it's a lovely accolade for the group of players and for the staff that are here at the moment. We obviously want to make sure we win more games and we get more points on the board, and there's lots to do this year. But as a little aside, for that group of players and the staff that are here at the moment to be involved in that sort of thing is something that is very appreciative and something that we don't take lightly. It's a fabulous football club, it really is, and the people that are associated are really good people and warm people, and it's one I'm proud to be involved in. And I think that for us to manage to get the result that night, to get that little record, great for a travelling bunch of fans, great that the Staggies Army went, in the night. It was a poor night, and for the little band of fans to be down at the game and see the team play like that and score the goals like that, that's great credit to them, and as I say, great thanks to them for travelling. And it's not easy at the moment because of the situation that we're dealing with in the country with COVID. So travelling fans and the games that we have been allowed fans in, to actually see our little band of fans there has been fabulous, and thankfully we gave them the win that night. We haven't in another couple of the games they've managed to be at, but I think they've seen a team that are working hard for them, working hard for the blue jersey, and working hard to make sure that we do well and stay in this division.
Following the Dundee game, you had the real opportunity to roll out some momentum. That was obviously stopped with postponements with Hibernian, and then it was into the Ibrox game there on Sunday. But is it now the position where during this international break you're trying to find your own momentum within the group to carry into this next 9 games in 36 days?
Yeah, as I said, it was disappointing not to then be able to follow the Dundee game with the game 3 days later up here against Hibs, and obviously then it was rescheduled again for the midweek. So the boys are preparing, planning, and getting themselves up for a game, and then doing the same on the Wednesday night. We then had to reset and look then towards the Rangers game at Ibrox, which was always going to be tough. But again, I thought the players gave good credit of themselves to the jersey as well on the day. But now we've got this period of international break where we'll work hard during training. We'll give them a few days off to go and see their families, and then we'll be back in and focused and ready for the game when we come back. But there is a large number of games now in a short period of time. And we're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to testing ourselves in that game, because we're itching to get back into it again, to be honest with you. And coming off the back of generally, I think, as I say, the way we're playing at the moment, I think that it'll be a good test for the players, but it'll be something they're really looking forward to.
Finally, Malky, just how would you measure the Scottish Premiership, because it has been so competitive?
Yeah.
I think personally my favourite game this season was here against Hearts, the 2-2 draw. But in every game there's been so much entertainment. As a manager, how have you seen that roll out in front of your own eyes?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a league that seems to be so many teams are nip and tuck and beating each other, all the way through. Even you look at Celtic and Rangers, where they've dropped points here and there. There's no game, I think, at the weekend that you can actually call right now, which is quite interesting. And I think that certainly, as far as our games are concerned, we've been on the wrong end of one goal swing a few times, but I genuinely think that we're a team that look as though we can threaten anyone, and we've just got to make sure, as I say, that we actually try and nullify the goals against column. But in every game we've been involved in, I think we've gone toe to toe with the opposition. I'd like to think our fans are seeing that they've got a young, courageous group here who are working so hard for the jersey, but at the same time applying ourselves in a way that are causing problems for teams. We've got to make sure, as I say, that we pick up, and I think if we keep playing like that over a piece, results will come. As I say, I don't think we're far away at all. There's been certain games where we've had, double the amount of chances that the opposition have. I know people talk about possession, and we've had that as well. But I think when you've got double the amount of chances that the opposition have had in a day, and don't come away with the win, I think that's something that we hold on to, because I think over a period of time, if you do that consistently, points will come.
Malky, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Dale.